Hey everyone, Brendan Gulick with you from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Welcome to the Peach Bowl. It's the 2022 College Football Playoff Semifinals. We are fired up to be in Atlanta to see the Ohio State Buckeyes back in the playoff for the first time in 2 years. Just a couple things we're watching for here this evening. We are still several hours to kick as we shoot this. In fact, it is 3:30 local time, so about 4.5 hours still till kickoff. The team won't even be here for a couple of hours yet. But here's the three things I'm watching for in this game. Number one, from a C.J. Stroud perspective, I don't know if it's fair to say that he has to have the game of his life, but this is an important game for him in defining his Ohio State legacy. He's a two-time Heisman finalist. He's obviously had incredibly gaudy statistics. He's got some school records that may never be broken. Who knows? He's played incredibly well during his Ohio State career. But this is the biggest stage he's ever played on. Yeah, he's a Southern California kid that played in the Rose Bowl last year, and that was incredible. And he had a really, really impressive performance. But this is the game that last year Ohio State fans really wanted. Ohio State and Georgia, it looked for a while like that would be the national championship game. Ended up not being the case, but C.J. Stroud gets a chance this year to prove that Ohio State can knock off a team that, frankly, nobody is giving them a chance to beat around the country. So how will tonight's game define C.J. Stroud's legacy as an Ohio State Buckeye? We're going to find out. I'm looking forward to seeing the way he comes out and tries to play as well as he possibly can. Number two, I think this game, frankly, is going to be won and lost in the trenches. There are incredible skill position players all over the field, but the game's going to be won at the line of scrimmage. Ohio State has to figure out a way to keep Stroud upright. Georgia's defensive line is incredibly impressive, and they are often able to generate pressure without bringing a blitz. But if they do try to speed up Stroud's clock, because that's typically when he has been a little bit more weary at times, if you give CJ all day, he's going to find somebody open, right? Especially with these Ohio State receivers. So can Georgia at the defensive line disrupt Stroud enough and quickly enough that he gets uncomfortable early in this game? Ohio State's offensive line is good. I think they've had a really solid season. They're healthy. That's important. But they've got to play exceptionally well against a very good Georgia defensive line. And frankly, it's the same story on the other side of the ball. Ohio State's defensive linemen have got to have game-wrecking type plays. You know what you can get with Mike Hall and with JT Tuimoloau. Certainly, we've seen some things from Jack Sawyer. Zach Harrison's played really well this year. They're going to have to play an exceptionally good game against a very, very good Georgia offensive line. And beyond that, maybe the best player on the field that doesn't get enough discussion in Big Ten circles is Georgia tight end Brock Bowers. He's probably the best tight end in the country. Ohio State certainly did a good job scheming against and defending against Michael Mayer when they played Notre Dame in the opener. But Brock Bowers is really good. He can run the ball. He can go one-on-one, almost lined up as a wide receiver and go high point balls. He's incredibly impressive. I want to know how Georgia is going to utilize him in their offensive attack. Do they put him in different situations just to see what Ohio State can be ready for? You know, does he line up maybe not on the line of scrimmage and motion into handoffs? Do they put him out on an island by himself and try to see if he can win one-on-one battles? He'll certainly do that, historically down in the red zone. Really important. I want to see him, and certainly Darnell Washington at, 270 pounds. He's a massive human being. He's super athletic. I feel like he was created in a lab. Keep your eye on Darnell Washington, number 0, the other tight end for the Georgia Bulldogs. So those are the three things I'm watching. 8 o'clock tonight on ESPN. Ohio State gets a chance to play in the college football playoff for the third time in 4 seasons, but it is the first playoff appearance for many of the guys that are going to be on the field. We got it all covered for you on Buckeyes Now.